So this is a new Zoom account for the chamber, so we're still working through some of the processes. So have grace with us today. And good morning, everybody. My name is Rudy Garcia. I'm the current president of the Chamber of Commerce of Fluvanna County, and I'd like to welcome you to this first breakfast of the new year. We are going to be doing something different this year for the next 6 months anyway. We're going to have the same event twice, once in the morning and once at lunch. So we can start to get a better feel for how our chamber members want their educational classes given, whether they want them in the morning or whether they want them at lunchtime. So you guys are guinea pigs, so we're going to see how this goes. What I'd like to do now is go around the room and with the exception of our panelists who will be introduced separately, I'd like you all to just take about 15 seconds, tell us who you are and how long you've been a chamber member, if you are in fact a chamber member. And I will work my screen and I will go with Ruth Ann first.
Hi, I'm Ruth Ann Carr and I am the office manager at the Chamber of Commerce.
Sherry?
I'm Sherry Rhodes. I'm with the Daily Progress, Rural Virginian. Let's see. Am I muted or unmuted?
Oh, you're unmuted now.
Okay. I'm Sherry Rhodes with the Daily Progress and the Rural Virginian. And I've been with the paper for around 38 years and a chamber member for at least the last 10 or more years, probably.
Great. Thank you. Sarah.
Good morning. I'm Sarah Monceau. I am a real estate agent. I have been with the chamber for, I think, 2 years, maybe 2.5 years. And I recently joined the chamber board.
Welcome.
Yay, thank
Peggy?
you.
I am Peggy Shanklin. I'm a realtor with Long and Foster. I've been with the chamber for a year-ish, maybe.
Great, thank you.
And it's early.
Judy.
Hi, I'm Judy Fish. I call myself Team Fish. We have an organization, but we do a little bit of everything. We have a beach body business and sell antiques in Gordonsville. But what I really spend most of my time on right now is Lake Monticello News, a Facebook page, and being on the LMOA board where I'm the vice president right now. I've been on the chamber for quite a while as an LMOA member and just joined this year as Team Fish.
And Judy's a former board member. Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
Miss Carolyn.
Hey, I'm Carolyn Herbert. I have Herbert's Wine Jelly, which is a product, several products that we do, which really has a mission of helping those that have mental health issues and may or may not have been incarcerated because of it and can't find any other jobs. So we do products for retail and wholesale.
Great. And how long have you been a chamber member, Carolyn?
A couple of years. I think it's 2 years, but we've only been in business for 3.5. So I've kind of jumped in as quickly as I could.
Great, thank you. Elise?
Hello, good morning, everybody. I'm Elise Wood. Sorry, I could not figure out how to do my name. All I'm saying is a pin button, but I'm a realtor with Keller Williams. I just joined the chamber last week.
Great, thank you, Elise. Valerie?
I am Valerie Palamountain. I've been on the chamber, PVC, I used to be with PVCC until I retired in January. And PVCC has been with the chamber forever. I've been probably, I don't know, 10, 15 years. Like I said, I retired recently and I'm enjoying retirement.
Great, thank you.
Oh, and I'm on the board too. Sorry, I'm the vice chair.
Current vice president. So I go through that exercise, folks, so that you get an idea of the diversity of our business community in Fluvanna County. Because we don't have a main street or a large business community, a concentrated business community, we sometimes forget that our community is very diverse. And this is a great way for us to learn a little bit more about the different types of businesses that are in our county. And you're actually going to learn even more when Ruth Ann introduces our panelists. Before we do that, I'd just like to remind everybody, and everybody here is a member, but you can help us grow the chamber by sharing with your friends who are also business owners who have not yet discovered the value of being a chamber member, and remind them that from now through the end of June, they can get their first year's membership at a reduced rate of $50. And we're doing that because we're very conscious of the fact that many of our fellow business owners are struggling during the pandemic, but we also want them to be included in the chamber family. And so the board made a conscious decision to lower the membership costs to $50 through the end of December, and then at our January meeting, we extended that until June. Now, if you want to pay full boat, you are welcome to pay full boat, right? Because the chamber relies almost entirely on membership dues, with a little bit of revenue from the directory ad sales and some support from the county for running their directory for them. But all in all, we are a membership-driven organization, and we need your help in order for us to stay viable and relevant. There are a couple more events coming up. As I mentioned, this event will be repeated on Thursday, March the 4th at noon. So if you fall asleep, you can always come back and re-register and listen to these fine speakers again. April 6th and May 4th and June 1st. April 6th, May 4th, June 1st. Those will be the breakfast versions of our next 3 events, and they will be at the same time as this one. April 8th, May 6th, and June 3rd at noon will be the lunchtime versions of these. So if breakfast doesn't work for you on one of those days, you can come out and do the lunch version.
Are you going to send that information out?
Yes, ma'am. Ruth Ann will send it out, and she'll post it up on the website if it's not there yet. And just like today, we're going to have panelists come in. They're going to be our businesses talking to us about things that are important to them and to our business community. On March 22nd, we'll be doing a ribbon cutting for Fluvanna Women in Business, which has joined as a group. And I guess their home operation is out of the pub, so we're going to be doing it at the pub. And then on April the 21st, we will be having a local business webinar at noon. We're going to be talking to some successful business owners and who are going to tell us about the things that they went through to get to where they are. And Ruth Ann will be announcing that shortly. And I think that's everything from me, Ruth Ann. I'm going to turn it back over to you and let you do your stuff and introduce our speakers.
Okay. I'm going to introduce each one before they speak. And so our first speaker is going to be Mike Lovedale of Align Marketing. And he's been in marketing for 10 years, just started Align a few months ago, and he's located here in Fluvanna, but it's a global business. And I wanted to let you know what he's offering everybody. Free marketing consulting session. That's 1 hour via Zoom. That's a value of $250. He'll walk you through your website, social media, and online presence with actionable steps you can take now to improve your marketing. And I will give him a list of everybody who is on this call. And then also he's offered a raffle prize. One winner will receive a month of premium marketing services that's valued at $5,000. Woo, yeah. So without further ado, Michael.
Hi, good morning. Thank you so much, Ruth Ann. Yes, as you said, I had the pleasure of forming Align Marketing this past August, actually. It spawned out of a kind of decorated career over 10 years of various marketing and design and sales experience. And as I continued to bring on team members and sort of expanded the business, I kind of looked around and like, it doesn't really make sense to call us Michael Lovedahl Marketing and Design anymore. We do so much more than that, and it was a team of 23. So it's time for to call us what we really are, and that's an agency. So we've been a chamber member now since September. We took advantage of the COVID registration, and thanks to a great conversation with Ruth Ann, and so really appreciate being here. We are a full service marketing agency. That means we're not beholden to any particular platform or channel. We do digital marketing, advertising, social media. We also do traditional print, event advertising, and we even do publishing now for several authors. So basically during this time where more than 1 million US businesses have gone out of business through a pandemic, we are really coming alongside other businesses and trying to help you understand, how do you find alignment with your customers in order to be in the right message, the right place, the right time, and really be able to pandemic proof your marketing, right? So many times, especially with local businesses, I find that the first time I hear about them, first time I realize they even exist, is when I see the message up on the local Facebook group here at Lake Monticello that says, oh, it's so sad, after 10, 15 years of business, we're going out of business. And I'm like, wait, I didn't even know that you existed yet. It is my intention through this relationship with the Chamber that I can help more local Fluvanna businesses not just survive the pandemic, but thrive through it and really understand, how is the landscape changing, and how can we really make the best of what we have, because there's some great things going on.
Thank you, Michael. He has done a great job of staying within his 3-minute limit. Hopefully, if everybody does that, we'll have a chance for you guys to ask them some questions, okay? Next up is Kathy and Cliff from Pet Stop of Central Virginia, and they've been in business here in Fluvanna for quite some time and have just joined the Chamber as a pandemic response member. And I'd like to introduce you to Kathy Burrier and Cliff Lewis.
Hi guys, like she said, I'm Cliff. This is my wife, Kathy. We are Pet Stop of Central Virginia. We've been in business for about 20 years. My parents, Roy and Mary Lewis, first started the business back in 2001. Kathy and I took it over in 2017, and just this year have become members. We install underground fences to keep your pets safe. Primarily, we do dogs, but we do other animals as well. We've done cats, we've done pigs, we've done goats. Pretty much as long as you can put it on a leash and walk it around, we can train it to stay in your yard. There's several things that make us unique over other companies. One, all of our equipment is made right here in the United States. I think we're the only company, the only pet fencing company that can say that. Everybody else is made overseas. Another unique thing that we do is our training. We start on gentle steps training, and we're going to show you that just real quick right now.
Yeah, this is our latest and greatest receiver. It actually connects to your phone. I am going to right now, as you watch, shock Cliff on level 2. So he doesn't even feel that really.
Barely feel it. I don't know if you can hear it beeping, but every time it beeps, it's shocking. It's very little. That is where we start off training all of our dogs. Some need a little bit more to start with, but most stay right here for their training the entire time. I'll give that back. Another unique thing about us is our customer service. We're a small business, but if you call us on the weekend, we're more than likely going to answer the phone. You call us on a holiday, quite often you're going to get us. If you have an issue with something, we're very quick to respond. It's only going to take us just a couple of days to get there, to get you guys taken care of, to get you back up and going again. And one last thing, a new product that we just brought on that we're really excited about is called Auto Slide. If you have a sliding glass door, it's a unit that we mount on the door, and it actually automates your door. So there's several different types of sensors, a button, a mat, an infrared sensor, whatever you would like. You can hit that, it'll open your door for you. You can go through, it'll close behind you. It just makes life a lot easier.
And
Kenny,
it works with dogs too. It has a special sensor for your dog, so it's a doggy door and a people door.
we're really excited about being here. If you want to check out anything about us, you can check out our website, which is virginiadogfences.com. And thank you guys so much.
Yeah, and we're on Facebook, Pet Stop of Central Virginia. Thank you.
Thank you. And I forgot to mention that they are offering to everybody a discount on installation, and that's $100 off the premium installation or $50 off their regular installation. And along with that, they will donate a $100 or $50, depending on the installation that you have, to
$50. It's $50.
Okay, to
$50.
Green Day, your pet rescue of choice, Caring for Creatures, the Fluvanna SPCA, or Green Dogs Unleashed. All right, so thanks, guys. Next, we're going to have Robin Hardy Small of Lakeside Mobile Notary, and she's offering a gift certificate for one mobile visit to home or office for general notary services, and it is transferable. So if you win it and don't need it, you can give it to your mom or your sister or your kids. So Robin, let's see, we'll need to unmute.
You never know with a dog barking if you're going to get that. So I started Lakeside Mobile Notary last year because my parents needed a notary. All the banks were closed. Found out that you could be a mobile notary, and we brought one in, and it really hit me that this is what a community needs, especially during the pandemic, because the banks were closed, and it was something that I could offer back to our community. Notaries, we screen employees, we verify identities, we do consents to sign. Mainly, we're there to make sure you are who you say you are when you're signing these important documents. I do everything from notarizing contracts to power of attorneys, wills and trust. And the thing about being a mobile notary is we can come to you, is that we are able to do this. And the picture behind me shows that what we were in 2 weeks ago when we were trying to make some of these dreams come true of buying their first house and doing their closing, that they had to have it done. And that's what our company does, is we get it done. We will come to you. You can come to us. We will come to your business. We will come to your home. We've grown quite a bit, just even in the last year, through social networking, through Google, just trying to get our name out there and to help the community. I do the loan signings, but the greatest joy I get is being able to help within our community and help the people here. And that's why I went into business, was to help. So if you guys need notary services, please reach out to me. If you know somebody who does, reach out to me. I cover Fluvanna, Albemarle, Charlottesville, but the lake and Fluvanna is what I've called home for the last 10 years. So this is my home. This is where I want to do my work.
Great, thanks, Robin. I see that Peggy has used you and recommends you highly. So I wanted to share my screen because I failed to mention that Cliff and Kathy, can you see this picture of a bunch of doggy themed items? There, one winner will get that today. Okay. All right, now I need to stop sharing. I'm talking my way through this. And our next business is Direct Learning Solutions. They're offering $50 off the first month of service, and they are a homegrown business. And we've got Hezekiah Butler and Sam Anderson. Yes, I was right. Okay. Anyway, so the two of you have it.
Good stuff. Well, appreciate it, everybody. First off, let me address the elephant in the room. Yes, I am a sneakerhead. I see you guys peering behind me. These are all real sneakers. This isn't a backdrop. Now let's move past that. Beyond that, just to give you a little bit of my story and then pass along to Hez, we both own and operate a couple different businesses. Serial entrepreneur based here in Richmond, Virginia, but obviously we provide these services elsewhere. Beyond Direct Learning Solution, also own a media company called Enzo Media Firm. We're probably best known for our video production. Also part owner of a network organization called Synapse that has a primary focus with nonprofits. And then obviously Direct Learning Solutions. So where Direct Learning Solutions came from, right when the pandemic was taking place, I remember seeing a post on Instagram and it said, now's the time for teachers to eat. Quit your job, go work privately with 10 kids, charge them X amount of dollars, and you'll make $100,000 in the next year. And I said, you know what, that's phenomenal. But 99% of teachers are not going to do that because they're not entrepreneurs. But if there was a system built for them to be able to provide this type of service, yeah, they probably change ship. So that's what we've created is that outlet for people on the employee side to work in a scenario, because most teachers are not happy with the way things are going, and it's not the fault of the school system, but you know, they didn't sign up to be teachers to teach kids through a computer screen. They want to be face to face. So our model actually allows people to get that, for kids to get that hands-on training, but also for parents to get back to work. If you're working from home and you have kids that are in virtual learning, you're not working from home. I know what that really looks like. Your kid's calling you every 5 minutes to come fix this, fix that, do that. But to actually have somebody there with your child to be able to walk them through that process, it allows kids to remain focused and allows parents to get back to work. So with that, I'm going to pass it on to Hez.
Thanks, Sam. So again, my name's Hez Butler. As Sam said, multiple business owner at this point. That wasn't really the intent 12 months ago. But 12 months ago kind of changed everything, I think. In fact, 12 months ago, I was in public education. I was a athletic director at a high school down in the Tri-Cities, and decided that I was that 1% who needed that entrepreneurial itch to be scratched. And so I went and started a recruiting business, hospitality, executive recruiting. And then Sam and I, who've been friends for a long time, kind of, you know, Sam called me and said I had this idea. And so we began that idea. And so Direct Learning Solutions was born, and some of it was some personal pain with my first grader downstairs at the time, trying to navigate Google Hangouts and every other type of platform application that was not traditional, you know, instructional delivery. So with what we created in Direct Learning Solutions, we present two different models, an in-home pod. We cap it at 6 typically with our facilitator who comes in. They are trained. They have had background checks. It's treated just like if they were in public education in the sense of their vetting process. In fact, we do require them to have some form of education or child care, you know, work experience. That model has worked very well for us. Parents have been very pleased with it because it allows them to continue to have peace of mind with their work, but the children's education is being more than just, you know, screen shares. Our other model is we've partnered with several facilities across the region where they have the space that is being unutilized because, well, nobody's coming into their buildings. SCORE is one in the city of Richmond, some trampoline parks in the metro areas of Richmond where we have large spaces that they provide and partner with us. We send one of our facilitators in. We expand the size of our pod to 10 because we can space out. When you have the square footage that's 10 times greater than a living room, we can increase that a little bit. And it allows us to bring our price point down. What we've found really great with that is that we've been able to tap in and support lower socioeconomic markets because, you know, some of our price points they're unable to afford. And parents in those situations are not able to stay home and work. They aren't work from home. They have to go back into the actual workplace. We've actually also now just launched a third leg of our business with some tutoring services, which we're very excited because it allows us to extend some of that virtual support even further. We're starting some this week where we have some of our tutors that are in Richmond that are supporting families down in the Tidewater area. So it allows us to kind of just reach a little bit further and support families and instruction education even more so.
That sounds great. I'd like to open it up now for about 5 minutes, if you don't mind, Michael, because we're going to hear from Michael about some more specifics on some marketing tips that he's going to offer you. But does anybody have any questions for any of the presenters?
I would like to know if there's an opportunity for each of them to say why they got into their business. Sam and Hezekiah, you guys pretty well covered that, but if the rest of you can just kind of just share why you're doing what you're doing.
Robin?
All right. So when my parents, they're both homebound, it's very difficult to get them out of their home. And honestly, what this notary charged to come to our home to notarize 2 documents for 2 elderly people, I found absolutely disgusting. And even though that was in Southwest Virginia, I wanted to come back to Fluvanna. I wanted to come back to the lake and make a difference and not charge people ridiculous amounts for service. I wanted to be able to give back to the community. I don't have all the time in the world because I still work full time. I go to school. I'm finishing my degree this semester, but I want to help people in our community. I want to be able to give back. And if somebody needs a witness to something, I want to be able to bring somebody with me if they don't have a friend or somebody nearby that can help them. And that's why I got into the business was to help.
Okay. Kathy and Cliff?
Mine's kind of funny. My dad wanted a new motorcycle. This is again like 20 years ago, and Mom told him, "Okay, you can get your motorcycle, but you can't pay for it with your regular money." So that Dad found this and started doing this as a part-time job, and it just grew. It just evolved. We've always had dogs. Always liked dogs. And I don't know, it just kind of fit. It just fell in there. And Kathy was just lucky enough that when she met me to get to come in and be in all this too. So yeah, that's kind of how we came about.
It's way better than the government red tape kind of job I used to have. Now I get to hug dogs at my job.
That's great.
Thanks.
Does anybody else have any questions? Valerie? Or are you waving to somebody?
No, I have a question, and this is for Sam or Hez about direct learning. Is direct learning an alternative to school, sort of like homeschooling, but instead of the parents doing the homeschooling, you do it?
Now, so gotcha. With our model, we're working directly with the school system. So the kids are being taught by their teacher via computer virtually. But the biggest thing that we found is that a lot of kids aren't able to stay on track. Like if a teacher tells you to sit down and she's at a computer screen, like, oh, what are you going to do? Like freeze my screen? Like, I don't care what you tell me to do. So it's keeping those kids in line. But to give you an idea of what we're looking at down the road, like past the pandemic, we are releasing a model where parents can purchase a home-based curriculum and we'll send qualified professionals into the home to teach that curriculum. One thing we think that the pandemic has done is that it's opened up a lot of people's eyes to a lot of things that are wrong in this country, education being one of them. And I think a lot of parents want to take more control of their kids' education after they've seen what their kids are actually learning with this virtual school model. So we definitely have some things in place for that. The big thing is, and I have this idea for, the cartoon, The Magic School Bus. We're going to do that. We're going to gut school buses and we're going to make that a classroom so that the classroom isn't a building for the kids, it's the city. So if you have biology, you're going to go here to study, earthworms, or, it's time for math. We're going to get some financial education from a mortgage lender or a banker, whatever the case is. So they're big ideas that we have moving forward.
Is there a limit to, do you have to set up the relationship with the school district, or can you go anywhere?
So we actually, it's funny, school districts have not always been as open to us. for some reason. I mean, I can tell you, I guess I can say, because I was a former teacher, change is not always something they like. Not to mention, let's be honest, the last 12 months kind of sucked for educators. It's been very, 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 very difficult. You know, I talked to my friends who are still in the classroom, and it's not been easy. So our relationship's been more with parents, who then kind of hand off what their kids are receiving from the schools, which then in turn allows us to go and set up anywhere. We've had inquiries from Texas, Kansas, North Carolina. You know, because again, the virtual model, I think, as we've seen, we can do this. You know, I mean, how easy is this now to have these type of opportunities to share businesses, and, you know, nobody has to leave their house. It's not, I don't think it's ideal. We all still like to meet face to face, but you know, some of the new norms have created some unique opportunities for everyone.
My last question for you, what age group? Is it K-12?
We focus K through, we focus elementary, because we feel like that was the group that needed the most attention. And frankly, it made it a more efficient model for us. We felt like if we expanded K through 12 right out the gate, it would have created some challenges for us. Mostly because, again, 6 through 12 becomes less, or rather more diverse in what their curriculums each day. You know, it's just so much more that they're receiving on a daily basis, and differences in blocks and hours, and not to mention they're a little more self-sufficient. So our focus has been K through 5.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Oh, Carolyn?
I just had a question, kind of follow up with that. Do you find that you end up with a lot of kids that have some special needs?
So we've gotten some requests for that, and that obviously is a huge hurdle to tackle. We're currently in talks with some nonprofits that work with children with special needs. My background, kid has said, you know, he's retired from public education. I was actually a behavioral specialist in the school system for about a decade. So I've worked with autistic children. That was my profession prior to becoming an entrepreneur. But the struggle with that is that to get those specialized workers to work with that population of families, obviously, if we're doing one-on-one and going into the home, the cost for that far exceed what it is for your average student. So that's why we're in talks with some nonprofits to see about funding that we can get to be able to provide that service to families, so that it's no out of pocket cost to them.
I just offhand, one of my prior lives, I was a director of special education and have 40 years experience in the school division under special education. So I would be more than glad to help, either, you know, give tips, you know, kind of work with you, as opposed to, you know, actually providing the service. Obviously, I'm, you know, beyond that piece, but, you know, there are some things. I have worked in behavior centers. I have worked in a number of places. If there's anything that I can do, you know, reach out to me and let me know, because to advocate for those that do have special needs, and some things are an easy fix for teachers, but some teachers are a little reluctant at times when they hear those titles. So if there's anything I can do under that category, please reach out.
Absolutely. We greatly appreciate that.
Okay. We're going to move on now, Rudy, to Michael with Align Marketing, and he's going to offer us some ways that you can, some free tips for you to help your business grow. So, Michael?
Thank you, Ruth Ann. It's an honor to be with you all. I'm really excited to have the opportunity to share with you. You all were talking about your reasons for getting into what you did. For me, mine in a lot of ways was that I loved outreach and finding ways to communicate effectively with people. And the traditional marketing and advertising dynamic looked to me to be always very, very broken and frustrating. Marketing and advertising in general right now seems to be, let's spread the message to the masses and hope something lands. And that's a terrible waste of money. It's irritating to the people who are receiving it, and it's a waste of money for the people who are sending it out. I'm one who, I mute commercials on TV. I have an ad blocker on my computer. I don't tend to see things as they come up. And so it's really ironic, I guess, for me to be a marketer, because I'm fairly immune to traditional advertising. But that's just all the more reason to show you, like, we all have different tastes and preferences, and that's why it's so important to find alignment with your audience and to figure out, what do they like, what do they hate, how do you speak specifically to them and what they need. So I want to share with you some actionable steps on what you can do right now to have a more pandemic-proof marketing strategy.
And you're on, Michael.
All right, thank you very much. Well, as I said, it's an honor to have you all. It's really very dear to my heart that we give local businesses the opportunity to just really be able to kind of stretch beyond where they've been before. I know in a lot of cases, especially local business during this time of pandemic and change, are like, well, I've been in business 20 years, 30 years. It's always worked out. Things have always just, come around. So if I just hunker down, it'll be okay. It's important to me that I can share with you just a few ways that, no, things aren't necessarily going to get back the way they were. And that's okay. We can adapt to that, and we can change, and we can pivot a little bit and be flexible. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to the next slide here. So who am I? I am the CEO of Align Marketing. My name is Michael Lovedahl. This is my beautiful family. Teresa is a COVID ICU nurse at UVA. And this is Elias, my son. As you guys were talking about that, like, online schooling and everything, I very much related to that because we're doing hybrid. He's in the other room right now on a virtual day. I've been working in just sort of this general marketing industry for about a decade now. I have marketing, graphic design, sales experience, and just general business development. At this point, Align Marketing continues to do really well. We're at 23 members strong as far as our team members. We have clients and have served businesses now in 13 different countries, and our work has been seen by millions and millions of people. And the reason why we've been so successful is because we have really locked in on that concept of aligning with our target audience. And so we'll talk more about that. So what is pandemic-proof marketing? Pandemic-proof marketing are the things that you can do that even when it all goes to heck, and even when people are staying home and a lot of the systems that used to not work, when that all just goes away, pandemic-proof marketing is, what can we do now to thrive in those changing circumstances, and even, just go beyond what we did before and take advantage of changing adoption of technology, for instance, and new access to technology. There's so much more that's even better. So what is marketing? Everything is marketing. It's really important that when you think about marketing in your business, you don't just think about it as placing an ad in your local newspaper. It's not just what you see on TV. That's advertising, and advertising is a subset of marketing. Everything you do is marketing. When your customers call you up on the phone and they get great customer service, that's marketing. That is your reputation. That is your brand going forward. And whether or not that is in alignment with your customer will affect whether or not it was good marketing or bad marketing. When somebody shows up to your shop and you're closed, even though the sign on the front door says that you were open, that's bad marketing. That is a negative salesman standing in the front door saying, don't come back here, you can't trust them. And so with a local business especially, it's very important that your marketing be more effective and more overreaching, because you can't afford to make the kind of mistakes that bigger brands do. You cannot compete on price with Amazon. Amazon will beat you every time because you're competing with the entire world and you're competing with quantities and margins that you can't hope to compete with. You cannot compete with stock. Online shops will always be able to beat you on variety. You cannot compete on convenience. I mean, I can get next day shipping in a lot of cases from Richmond, from an Amazon shop. I can get a lot of things online free instantly. The areas that you can compete on as a local Fluvanna business are on service, are on intelligence and the professional insight that you bring into your products. It can be with compatibility with other local services, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Whatever that is, you must have your unique value proposition, that thing that makes your business a better option, a natural first in mind option for your customers. And that's all to do with the marketing and how you find alignment. So one of the ways that a lot of local businesses that sell products can find alignment in this way is with a new service called Google Swiss. So this is freely available to everyone right now. If you have a Google My Business profile, which you should have as a business owner, it's free to claim. You just go on Google and you claim it after looking up your business. Your Google My Business profile has the embedded ability within it right now. If you're set up as a store that sells products, you can actually upload your products to, can everyone see my cursor? Okay, you can upload your products to Google and it will actually show right here in this little scrolling carousel here. It shows up above the #1 results in Google. So this is important because in that, you know how important search engine optimization is and getting at the top of Google. This ranks above that, okay? This even ranks above Amazon links. So if you Google something, you can actually rank above Amazon by doing this. And this even ranks above Google's own paid ads. You see ads are appearing below the Google Swiss entry here. Now, why is that? Because Google is in direct competition with Amazon. And they don't want Amazon to get bigger. They don't want them to take over more of the internet. They want to own the internet, right? So they are happy to throw local businesses in front of Amazon in order to give you exposure for your local inventory. So there's two different ways to do this. There's the hard way and the easy way. The harder way is open to you now, freely available. And especially if you have a small shop, it's a great option for you. That's manually going through and adding in your products, adding in your photos, updating your pricing and your inventory. Your local inventory can be represented right now on Google. So if I look for local art near me, your art can appear from Art Emporium, right? If I'm looking for pet supplies near me, your local stock and pet supplies can pop up on this search instead, above everything else. That's freely available to you now. At scale, if you're going to do a lot more business through Align Marketing, we actually have proprietary API access through Google that allows us to directly sync your e-com solution with this feature. And what that means is we can actually day by day take your live inventory and update it on Google. So if you sell out of a product, it'll pull it from Google. If you add more of a product, it'll automatically add it from your spreadsheet or from your shop, whatever solution you have. So that's Google Swiss. Feel free to message me later for more on this. It's a great option to just try to bring your shop online, because especially we don't know if we can always be open physically, because who knows when the governor will shut it down again, or when COVID gets worse, or whatever happens. We don't have control of those things, but we do have control over what we list online and how we continue to offer things this way. This is much harder to shut down. The other thing with Google Swiss is that locally, a lot of Fluvanna has better internet access than perhaps some realize. Here at the Lake Monticello, for instance, we have CenturyLink, we have Comcast. I know that there is fiber being put in not too far from here. There are a lot of higher speed internet options, and so many of us are already living online anyway with online business and online schooling. So as businesses, if you're not there, people are probably looking for you, and if they can't find you, they'll take their business somewhere else. And like I was saying before about your closed shop, you may not get a second chance. Somebody may look you up once, find they can't find you, find another solution, and then that's their permanent solution moving forward. So it's very important to get yourself set up on Google My Business, upload your inventory to Google Swiss, and become more available. So Google My Business, if you're not familiar, is actually same integration as Google Maps. It populates from the same information. It's where you've got like your reviews, you've got your business hours, contact information. Here's one of your main actionable steps for today. Go to your Google My Business and see what Google has on you. Is it correct? Is it accurate? Does it represent you well? I've found, for instance, organizations where I went and looked at their Google My Business. We did an audit and we found that their main image that represented their business was a picture of a dumpster. Can you imagine, as a prospect, going to a business for the first time, trying to decide, is this professional? Does this represent them well? And it's a dumpster. I can't take you seriously. I can't give you my business. I will move along. Another technique that you all should definitely be leveraging right now, if you haven't already, is upchain and downchain referrals. What this means is your business, let's say you sell dog food, has other businesses that are connected to it in some way. If you think about the relationships of how consumers use your product or service. So a pet shop that sells dog food could, for instance, refer to a carpet cleaning solution. And you might think, well, carpet cleaning, what does that have to do with pets? Well, pets pee on floors, and dog owners need to clean their carpets more often than other types of people. And so you refer to the carpet cleaning solution, and that's downchain referrals. But you can also do upchain referrals where, let's say the carpet cleaning company refers to the pet adoption agency, and the pet adoption agency refers back to the dog food company. And so you see how there's this reciprocity. And a lot of times this happens at a local level, like we like each other, we want to support local business. And sometimes some people are really good at making those referrals, and sometimes people are kind of lazy about it. We forget, we have good intentions, but it moves along. Why not formalize that arrangement? Why not say, hey, look, carpet cleaning company, how about you give me 5% referral commission every time you do some business? How about if the adoption agency, you're a nonprofit and you can afford to do a referral commission. So how about in exchange for referrals to my company, we give you some free publicity, or we hold a shared event and that gives me some free press. We do a Facebook Live event together and you get to celebrate our relationship with you. We have this shared opportunity to share something really interesting and engaging on our social media. Whatever that relationship may be, start to think, look around you in the chamber and see who else has a connection to my consumer, somewhere upchain or downchain, and think abstractly, because there are some relationships like carpet cleaning and pet food that may not be immediately apparent, but when you think about it, it's like, oh, that can make a lot of sense. And not only is it helpful for both of you because you end up increasing business and sharing customer bases, it's helpful for the customer as well, because now you're providing this extra level of guidance of like, hey, by the way, you might need this. It's like, wow, thank you. Yes, I do need that. I didn't even realize that was my next natural step in this process. So upchain and downchain referrals for local business especially could be a game changer. Because remember, you are competing with Amazon, you're competing with free services online a lot of times. Anytime you can keep it in the family, so to speak, and kind of cut out the big tech players, all the better, because then you have less opportunity to miss people in that cycle. Does that make sense? Okay. Another important thing that I'm trying to articulate here is to have and articulate your unique value proposition everywhere. So you've heard me say, and now this will be the third time, to align with your customers for success, the right message in the right place at the right time. This is my unique value proposition. This is what makes us so different from any of the other marketing agencies you've likely worked with. We've actually done white label work for 6 or 7 other agencies, including some locally that you're familiar with. They sell Google Ads, or they do graphic design, or they have this niche that has them locked in. And it's great to be successful in your niche, but the problem is when you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And sometimes the hammer is not the right tool for the job. So by being able to pivot between different channels, between different platforms, we can help you be much more versatile. That's our unique value proposition. So as you're considering your business, you look at your storefront, you look at your Facebook profile, your website. Do you have a unique value proposition? Is it being well articulated? Because if it's not, why would I choose you over somebody else who costs less, or who's more convenient, or who has better stock? So just really think about what is your unique value proposition, wrap yourself up in it, and celebrate it. So in closing, there's a lot of things that we can talk about as far as your local marketing, but these are really the most actionable steps that you can take right now yourself. I would really encourage you to go through and seriously examine your marketing, considering your entire business as marketing. Can people find you if they're looking for you? Is the information correct? Does it represent you well? If somebody calls you up, can they reach you? If somebody goes to your storefront when you say you're going to be open, are you? Really just cover your bases, get your inventory listed online if you're a product-based company, and really articulate that unique value proposition wherever you go. There is a door prize, as Ruth Ann mentioned, for everyone. I would love the opportunity to walk you through that very step-by-step audit that I just mentioned, where we can actually look at your Google My Business, your website. Sometimes there are online profiles on you that you don't even know about that are representing you. So let's make sure that those look good and represent you well. And just really go through and see what are the holes in your online presence, and what opportunities do we have to articulate that unique value proposition. And then also, for one lucky winner, we are offering a $5,000 value grand prize. And this is the white glove treatment that we give a number of our other clients. So we work on a monthly retainer in general for most of our clients, some of which are running north of $10,000, all the way down to the $1,000 range. And the reason why I mention that is because I want to give you an idea of the scale of the types of services that we're offering. And by the way, before I move on, I should mention that we are offering a special for all of our Chamber of Commerce members. We are waiving the minimum. There are going to be occasions for local Fluvanna businesses where you're not able to afford a $1,000 retainer, and we will work with you to see what it is that you can afford and how we can scale up your business so that you can afford it, because that type of growth is very possible. And if you're not there yet, you're still a small business, we can work to grow that with you. So feel free to talk to me afterwards about that. But the $5,000 grand prize is really about an all-encompassing, we go through and we can update your website. We find security vulnerabilities in many of the websites that we audit. We go through and we fix those for you. So your website is no longer vulnerable to being hacked, which is a common problem. I know.
Which we illustrated today.
That's right. We did that.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Michael. Folks, we got time for maybe 1 or 2 questions. I'll try to get us out of here on as close to on time as we can, in spite of the distractions earlier. Anybody have any questions for Michael?
I have too many.
Kathy?
I'm going to, oh wait, Kathy does. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just wondering on your retainer, does that include Google AdWords payments or is that additional to what you do?
So our retainer is just our in-house costs. It doesn't include ad spend. And so it can include ad management. It's just a matter of, what are your needs? And then we can scale the retainer accordingly. We do website design and hosting and there's so many things that we can include in that. A lot of times people find that they already have bills that we can reallocate towards the retainer and we just sort of absorb those. So
Michael, you can manage the spend though, right? If a business comes to you and says, "Hey, I want to spend X number of dollars per month on Google Ads," you can manage that spend for them, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I thought
that's important. We don't take, a lot of agencies will take a cut on your spend. So they'll say like, we want 50% of your spend or 20% of your spend. We don't take a cut on spend. Our management is included in the retainer.
It's a great question, Kathy.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Judy, you had a question as well?
No, I said I have so many, I'm going to save them for my little consultation.
Go for it.
Anybody else have any questions? Thank you again, Michael.
That was awesome.
And I added 1 more person to the raffle because Kelly joined us, so that makes 12, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to screen share so we can run this thing. And what are we raffling?
So this is the.
Oh, go ahead. We can do Michael's raffle is the 1 month of premium marketing services, and it's valued at $5,000. That includes professional consulting, social media tiles, direct mail or printed materials, directory listings, search engine optimization, and 1 high-level business strategy consultation to optimize your sales funnel and customer experience. That's $5,000 worth.
All right, and you have a name next to every number?
I do.
All right, nice. Okay, here we go.
If I can, this is the same service we offer 6-figure businesses. So this is a top shelf offering.
And the winning number is number 5. Who is number 5?
Sarah Monceau.
Yahoo! That's great. Yay.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yay.
Oh, I'm thrilled.
Congratulations,
Awesome,
Sarah.
Michael.
Congratulations.
All right, do we have another one?
Yes.
Thank you. I'll send you a private message. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, we also have 1 more, and that is the doggy gift
Don't you have
basket
10
or
more?
whatever. And I had shown a picture of it earlier, and
Hey, Ruth Ann?
but I can't now. Yes.
I want to make sure I got the idea from the doggy company that they thought they were doing 1 prize for both meetings. Is that right, Kathy?
It is 1
That's
prize.
okay. We
for
actually
me.
have 2, so I can do 1 for each.
It's okay.
It's no
Okay.
problem.
Okay.
Thank you, Judy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're going
I
to do
have
the
1 more prize from Robin as well.
Okay, here we go.
That's right.
Number 6.
And number 6 is DJ.
Okay.
DJ Herbert. She gets the doggy.
Okay.
Doggy door
And
prize.
And did you say there was something from Robin as well?
Yes, the gift certificate for one mobile visit to home or office for general notary, and it is transferable.
And the value on that is what, Robin?
Normally 50.
Okay, great, thanks. All right, here we go. Well, you can't win twice, sorry. I'll do it again. Number 3.
Sherry Rhodes.
Awesome, great.
Woohoo! Okay, so
All right, Ruth Ann, any last words before we wrap up?
yes, we'll do better next time. And tell about next time. You can go to the next one too if you miss some things or whatever, and tell everybody you know about the next one, because it's going to have the same people. Michael will be here to talk about these great tips, and so I would just suggest you do that. And Rudy and I will be sending a link to the recording to everybody, so those who didn't jump back in can see the rest of it.
Yeah, and I would, Robin, if you're okay with it, we'll be more than happy to let your husband edit it for us.
Oh, yes, please. Yes. And I know there was something else. I will send everybody's email to the people who, I'll let everybody know what you won, and I'll let the people who are providing the things know who won. So that will all get taken care of today.
Great. Folks, thank you very much. Thank you for your patience and your grace. We're only finishing a few minutes late, and I think that's awesome. So I look forward to seeing you all at the next event. Take care and have a great day, and be safe, please.
Thanks all.
Thank you.